We have we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order per ORS 192.610 to 192.690. According to ORS 192.650, we get to record the meeting. It's being recorded and it'll also be posted on our website with the video. At this time, I would like the honor of Mr. Youngberg give us invocation.
It's actually my honor to be here to do this with you guys and gals. Does anybody doubt that we're living in some weird times right now? Is the world kind of upside down? And you know, you kind of get afraid to say anything to anybody because of this cancel culture thing going on. But I want to read just a real short piece of scripture that kind of tells us how we really should be. It's in Paul's letter to the Romans. He says, hate what is evil, cling to what's good, be devoted to one another in brotherly love, honor one another above yourselves, never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor, serving the Lord, be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer, share with God's people who are in need, practice hospitality, bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse, rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn, live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. Do not be conceited. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everybody. And here's one that kind of slaps me right between the eyes. He says, if it's possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Do not take revenge, my friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, it is mine to avenge. I will repay, says the Lord. And I want to pray with you right now. God, we just come before you now. We thank you for the grace that you bestow on us and for your mercy. God, we don't deserve mercy, but you just let it flow to us just constantly. And as I'm addressing this group here tonight, I'm thinking about just all the things that have to happen and how you've put capable men and women in charge and how everything seems to be going so well. And we just thank you for that. And I pray, God, that there will be no personal agendas that get pushed forward in this group at all. And there will be just whatever the common good is. That's what we need to work towards. I pray for wisdom as they make decisions that have to be made about whatever's coming up, money things or personnel things, just whatever it might be. And I pray for safety, God, safety for the firefighters and the paramedics and all those people involved. They go out on the calls. God, just pray that you would just guide them and that your loving hand would be protecting them all the time. God, we thank you and pray to you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Well stated.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Can we go ahead and do the flag salute? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to go ahead and conduct a roll call. Director Day? Here. Director Miller? Here. Director Oliver?
Here.
Director McAdoo?
Here.
And Silva is present. Chief, do you have any last items to add to the agenda as presented?
It may or may not have made it into your agenda, but we added B4, which is Deputy Fire Marshal job description. Looking for an approval on that so I can move forward with civil service
Okay.
next.
It is on my agenda.
I got it, yeah.
Okay. So if it was on anybody else from the public, B4, Deputy Fire Marshal job description. Directors, do you have any agenda items to add?
I don't.
Okay, then we shall move forward. business items. Did everybody get a chance to look at the meeting minutes and the bills that were paid?
Yes.
Yes.
Entertain a motion.
I make a motion to pay the bills.
I second it.
All right, I have a motion on the floor by Director Oliver and a second by Director Miller. B1 consent agenda is presented on the floor, open for discussion. None. I'm going to call for the question. Director McAdoo,
Yes.
Director Oliver,
Yes.
Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Day,
Yes.
and Silva is yes. All right. We've got business item number 2 for the WUI grant, Wildland Urban Interface.
We need to read that.
Yes, so I can make the motion. I make a motion that we adopt resolution 2021-06. Accept an appropriated grant award for Wildland Urban Interface.
I'll second that.
So I have a motion on the floor by Silva, a second by Director McAdoo. It's on the floor, open for discussion. None. I'm gonna call for the question. Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Day,
Yes.
Director Oliver,
Yes.
Director McAdoo,
Yes.
and Silva is yes. The next one is the ARPA grant. I make a motion that we adopt resolution 2021-07, accept and appropriate a grant award, American Rescue Plan Act.
I'll second that.
Okay, I've got a motion by Silva, a second by Director McAdoo on the floor, open for discussion. None. I'm going to call for the question. Director McAdoo,
Yes.
Director Oliver,
Yes.
Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Day,
Yes.
and Silva is yes. All right. Let me get to the the job description.
So I think I need to pass out the job descriptions.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've been working on this. So what you have is a job description for Deputy Fire Marshal for Estacada Fire District. I think we had originally gone, or at least it was originally put into the budget to have a Division Chief Fire Marshal position. This would be a Deputy Chief Fire Marshal, would be a captain's rank within the organizational structure of what we've got here. This position would take on basically the fire marshal duties. So this would be a program versus a division, which is kind of the difference in the job description, more specific to inspection and prevention, and not so much overall command or administration of the district. So I got to get approval from the board for the job description before I can take it to civil service at their January meeting. So that's where we are now. So if you guys wanted to take that and wanted to read it and then get back to me by email, that'd be fine too. I just got to make this happen before the January 20th meeting. I believe. Yeah. So there is time, but I wanted to get it in front of you so you guys could get a look at it.
Right.
But if you're comfortable with it and as it exists today, we can move forward. It's up to you. But
So, Chief,
Yep.
thank you. So, but this could also include somebody with some emergency operation experience that
Correct.
you could utilize for duty officer and whatnot.
Yeah, more or less for day-to-day response. I
Right.
think we're small enough that we don't want to limit ourselves to somebody that does just inspection and prevention duties. I think they have some emergency response capability.
So, I notice here under desired preferred ICC Inspector 2 certification, is there a way for like splitting that out and getting the ICC fire plans review and ICC Inspector 2 certification within a year of hire? Can we do something like that?
We could absolutely have that.
Because I would prefer to have Inspector 2 in the plan review, especially since we're doing plan review.
Yeah, so it's quite honestly, when we get into the fire marshal world, that has not been my forte over the course of my career. So,
Right.
Whereas it is yours. And so if you're recommending that.
I'm recommending that, I can understand if somebody has all these other qualifications and that's great. And that's awesome, but I think having the inspector two and the plan review would be like an objective of a goal, and I think a year would be more than adequate.
I think a lot of the job descriptions that I was reading and where most of this came from, it's what you see is how it was written. So I did just read some where it had plan review, and I might have intended to put that in there, just omitted it some reason or another, but.
So that's a whole line item by itself.
Yeah, just
Plan
get within a year of
Oh, so
employment.
so the ICC Inspector 2 certification that's desired,
Right,
you're saying you want it
Within
said
a year.
Within a year.
Yeah,
and then
I agree with
in the
that.
fire plan review, because that
Yeah,
really is
Yeah.
the city and the county look to us to do the plan review on access, water supply, and
Mhm.
and so on, so.
Yeah.
Now, the chief, did you say that was gonna be a captain's position?
Correct.
I believe for the requirements for that, that should be my own personal opinion, because I did that around here for 18 years. That should be up maybe one step, deputy chief or something like
I
that.
think,
I think for the requirements, that's a little low and right, my personal opinion.
Well, most of these came, well, just about all of it in there comes from other deputy fire marshal positions in our area.
Yeah,
If we wanted to go higher, then I would probably add some things to that to make it fit that command structure. I mean, if that's the direction we want to go, I'm not opposed to it by any means, but I kind of feel like we might have a better chance of grabbing somebody versus if we add to it, and
Yeah, we add to it, we limit the potential
because
candidates.
that position could grow as we're here into
Yeah,
something else.
Especially if you're requiring in a year to do certain things.
Right,
you know,
right.
Get them in there,
And you could upgrade the position.
Right.
Well, for me, I'm fine with just the addition of moving ICC Inspector to adding ICC Fire Plan Review next to it and getting it within a year.
I agree with that.
I think we're-
Do we need this approved tonight, chief, or can you wait, or do you need it right now?
I just need approval before January 20th. So if you wanted to take it home, wanted to get back to me via email or however you want to do it would be perfectly fine.
I think Matthew and John are gonna be the heavy waiters in here.
If we approve it our next meeting, will that give you enough time?
No, because the civil services before our next meeting, like just
Okay.
barely.
Okay, I guess if we go within a year to have those two things, I would love to have that added.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe building codes,
Well, that would be maybe a desired thing,
Yeah.
been growth.
I'd have that as a desire maybe, but I know I had to take that class when I was here.
Right.
But yeah, I'll go. I guess just looking this over, let me, just give me another minute here.
Yeah,
Chief.
you betcha.
So is Mike gonna stay on as our fire marshal then, or where's that at, chief?
So he's currently the interim. I don't know if his long range plans are to continue or try for it. He's kind of been back and forth, so.
Okay. So there's a possible chance that if Michael did leave, this could be 2 or 3 years down the line, maybe possibility.
No, I think
No.
it's gonna happen.
No,
quickly.
yeah, no.
Yeah, it has to happen.
Yeah.
So I have to get the approval of the job description, take it to civil service, and then advertise process. Mike would have to go through that process as well if he's interested in the position. We don't have the ability to just offer it to an interim.
Yeah. That's right, he would, yeah.
Does he want to go through the process?
Some days yes, some days no.
You already retired once.
He did.
Probably got a little wiggy, decided to come back and then realized there's a reason why I retired.
Matthew, On the top of this page where it's desired preferred, is that line item International Code Council Plans Examiner Certification? Is that what you're talking about?
Where, show me where
Top,
that is.
there's three bullets at the top of that same page where desired preferred is on.
I don't see it. Which page is it?
I think it's that one you're looking at. There's three bullets at the top.
5. Okay.
Okay, Oregon State Fire Marshal, International Code Council.
Oh, within 18 months of
Is that
hire.
what you're talking about?
Yeah, that
Oh,
is
okay.
it.
So it's already there.
It's already
Kind of what I
there,
was
yeah.
thinking.
So maybe
Yeah.
we,
I gave away my copies.
maybe we add the ICC inspector to there. And then I would say instead of 18 months to make it 12 months.
I agree with that.
Yeah, inspector too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just add it
So
as
we just
another
move that
bulletin.
up there in 12 months, up above. Okay. So what are the top two, the specialists,
Those are,
FLS 1, FLS 2?
so those are the Oregon State Fire Marshal, the safety thing that you get. I mean, it's a course and then you test for it and you get it. I mean,
Okay.
I've got all of these.
Mhm.
So it's totally achievable.
Okay.
I'm looking real fast in here. Is there any requirements for fire investigation? Because he probably would be helping with that.
Yeah, there should be some fire investigation language in there.
I'm reading so fast.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there's some requirement for fire investigator certification
Oh, you got it in here for desired
on the
preferred.
desirable or.
Yeah, desired
Yeah,
preferred
okay.
for fire investigator certification.
Should we make that 1 year down the line?
Would we want to do that? Yeah.
What's the timeline on it? Oh, 12 months.
No, it's down under desired preferred.
No, but it's also up here.
Under knowledge. it's
Bulletin,
there.
Oregon Department of Public Safety Standard and Training, DPSST, National Fire Protection, Fire Investigator ability to obtain within 12 months.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I see it now.
Okay, good.
So, okay, well, that's covered then.
Arson laws of earth, search and season. Only, I don't know if I told you, Chief, but the board passed years ago, arrest authority, we can write citations.
Yeah.
according to- Only had to do it one time, but that authority is still there unless the board rescinds it.
Right.
Okay.
So
But you were never packing. were
do
you?
you think the requirement of an
Never mind.
associate's degree in fire science, fire prevention or related field is really, should that be like a preferred instead of a required?
I would leave it in the required because I believe most of your candidates are gonna have that already. Which is kind of why I left it in there.
Okay.
Okay, I'm okay to go ahead with the changes and down the line in a year if we need to have to update something or.
Yeah, I think that's kind of, well, it is my intent is that as it progresses that we would move it through the ranks.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm okay. You've answered my
Okay.
question. We added that. I think that's it.
Does everybody need more time? Okay, then I make a motion that we adopt the position description for deputy fire marshal as presented to us this evening
With the changes.
with the changes.
Thank you.
I second that.
All right, so I have a motion by Silva and a second by Director Miller. We have a motion on the floor open for discussion. Okay, I'm gonna call for the question. Director Day,
Yes.
Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Oliver.
Yes.
Director McAdoo,
Yes.
and Silva is yes. Any, there are no committee reports.
Actually,
You want a copy?
I'm good.
You can-
Okay. We'll go to staff reports, chief's report.
So you noticed an extra, we had an addition, late addition in the financial report and a check where we were replacing the kitchen stove. That's been an ongoing problem for us where it lights, gets hot, everything's going well, and then dinner's not getting cooked. Been an ongoing problem, and it's one of those things that we're gonna get replaced here pretty quick. It seems to be kind of a, this kitchen is the focal point here in the fire district for just about everybody involved, so just a late addition, but We got Tristan Hall, one of our volunteers. He started his own maintenance business and we've since hired him to do a fair amount of our vehicle maintenance, which is helping our cause tremendously here for a lot of our day-to-day maintenance. He's still not EBT, so there's certain things he can't do, but he's at least on the line and starting to take care of some things.
Is he gonna work towards that, chief?
Yes,
Good.
yeah, I think he's going to an EBT class this spring. It's out of the area, but that should get him what he needs.
Okay, good. Thank
So
you.
we'll be there. Along lines of maintenance, engine 332, which is Shrek. Stalled out, didn't want to start in front of the station. We had queues come out and they had to make a repair, haul it off to their shop, and I believe it's coming back tomorrow. But it's been there for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And volunteer hours, we had 1,746 volunteer hours for November. We had 239 hours out at the George Station, which equates to about 10 days for the month. We continue to staff that as we can. Volunteers are tremendous here. The dedication is just awesome. And you see the other hours that are listed there for everything else that goes on. And amongst other things, the finance officer position is advertised and that closes on January 12th. And
Where does that get advertised? sir?
that is currently advertised on our webpage, and Indeed is a web page for employment, hiring, all that kind of stuff.
You getting any hits on that?
Not, well, I don't know. Cheryl, have you seen anything come in yet? No, nothing yet. Unless anybody's got any other questions, that's what I got.
Directors, any questions for the chief on his report? I like the way that you've split it out where you do the operations, training, EMS, and then all the different bulletins. I like this format.
Yeah, each one of the divisions has to get me a report at the end of the month, and then I break it down on what's relevant for the board here. Obviously, I get a lot of detail, but that seems to fit really
But I
well.
like the way it flows on your report.
Yeah, you'll keep seeing it.
All right.
I did have another question, chief. How's the committee doing for putting apparatus bids together now that we got this money? Is that in progress?
Oh, yeah. They're figuring out how to spend money.
Sorry, I brought it up.
Yeah. Yeah, they met today. They were in here most of the morning. They're working on the Type 6 and the Type 3 engines. Those are the big ones. The Type 6, they may have a little lead on a vendor that might have something sooner than later, which would be great. But as it stands right now, we're looking at after fire season before we're going to see delivery of anything.
Okay,
But we're trying to figure out how to make it happen sooner. Just don't think it's very likely.
okay.
Yeah. Price of metal, everything being way behind,
Yeah.
just what it is. So.
Thank you.
All right. Any further questions? Chief? All right, if not, I'm gonna move to the admin manager, Lashbrook, financial report. Anybody have any questions for her?
Maybe a quick update on our CPA. Is that going well?
I haven't heard anything. Have you since?
I got her the username password.
She came in and I had all the information she asked for that I could get her, and she took the box and
Okay.
has it, and hopefully she'll do her magic, and
Okay.
Is
I
that
haven't
the,
heard
is that
back.
the famous Clackamas fire? We're managing your finances and
The-
everything's in a
yes.
cardboard box.
Box, yeah.
Yeah.
It's that one.
It's
It's
we're
that
talking
one,
about.
yes.
Yes,
Okay.
so we got a CPA going through the dollars.
Well, maybe you could update, since this is connected to the financial, update the board maybe on what
Okay.
you've been doing with Clackamas Fire on resolving some of the financial stuff.
Okay, so we haven't finalized dollars yet. We haven't made our final payment to them. I've been keeping track on a spreadsheet of all the expenses that they threw back at us and we had to pay for, and they keep trickling in. We've had what, 2, 3 in the last couple of months come in. Yeah, so we're not done yet. And then what happened was we got a letter from the auditor basically saying that he can't go any further with our audit because he can't tie the Estacada dollars with the Clackamas dollars because there's missing information, which means that Clackamas managed our money until about January, February, and then they threw it all back at us. And then we had start our own QuickBooks with the new Estacada Fire QuickBooks. And so he can't tie the old with the new. So the suggestion by Clackamas Fire, because I went back to Clackamas Fire and said, this audit's your responsibility, it's not ours. And so Chief Dieters agreed with that. And so their financial guy, Mark, threw out a suggestion that if you guys want to hire a CPA, we'll pay for it. So that's in the process right now too. We figured that Chief didn't want to try and dig up old dollars and figure it out. And, let's let a CPA do it. We get a rubber stamp on it that it's right.
Okay.
And then once that's done, then Clackamas should be able to give everything to the auditor.
So just that we're clear, this is all the Clackamas side of
Mhm.
financials,
Yeah.
not the new for us, correct?
Well, it's ours ties into
Well, I
it.
know it ties
Yeah.
into it, but it's the accountability on the Clackamas side transferring to us where it hit a wall.
There's
Okay,
like about 2 months worth of, month and a half or so of stuff that Christina Day didn't do. at the
okay,
last
okay.
part.
I just wanted to make
So,
that
Yep,
more aware to the public that
and I
it was
made-
not us.
right. And I made Clackamas aware that this audit is their responsibility. It was July 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2021. That's when they were managing our fire district. It's their responsibility to prepare this budget or prepare this audit.
Yep.
And so,
Have you found a CPA to help us?
yeah, we're using Sherry
Sherry.
across the street over there. Yeah.
Yeah, she was here a couple of weeks ago and we got her information. So she's on it. We just haven't heard anything in the last week or two.
Yeah, she emailed me over the weekend or last Friday late or something. She needed a username password for our QuickBooks, so I got that to her Tuesday morning. Yeah. They're not open on Mondays. or something.
Is there a huge discrepancy?
Don't know the dollar amount,
Don't
but
know the
there's a
dollar.
couple of month and a half or 1.5 to 2 months worth of stuff that Christina Day never put in our QuickBooks. And so this is the old desktop QuickBooks that we had for years. And when we started Estacada Fire, started doing our own business, we started a brand new online QuickBooks, brand new company, and moved forward with what we were doing. And right now, those two aren't meshing. There's a gap between them.
So that information from desktop wasn't put into online.
No,
then, so
no,
it's
no.
Start
we-
fresh.
Yeah, well,
Trying
we,
to find the difference between the two there.
Just so you know that, when I got involved, I was watching the board meetings and she made a statement, on the financial deal. She said, I'm not a big QuickBooks person. I really have not been entering stuff in there. So we, in the transition committee, we talked about it. And remember that we knew this was going to be an issue.
right.
So,
We felt starting a brand new company of Estacada Fire, whether it's online version or desktop, we chose to go online, would be the smartest thing for us to do. And that those two should at least, they need to match at some point, the old stuff. So there's a gap in this, and the CPA is going to fill that gap with bank statements and anything that happened.
and we felt that if we messed around in the old from Clackamas, then there'd be a point where we would have ownership of it. So we chose to not have ownership of it. So that way they can't say, well, you guys did this or, whatever. So like I said, this isn't a big shock. It's just nice to see that it's going to get resolved.
It will. it
Yeah.
will. And
Well-
I don't expect any more bills to come in that Clackamas is partially responsible for. I think we're done. So it's, when we get the CPA thing done and the auditor's happy, then I think I can sit down with Clackamas Fire and say, we owe you, our last payment was 238,000. Right now, we're at like $16,500 with the basic, what I call back charges to Clackamas Fire that will deduct from that last payment. Make sure they all agree with it before we do it.
Mhm.
Well, I really appreciate your hard work on it, and definitely Director Miller, you being involved from the beginning.
Well, just from the beginning, I
Yeah.
mean, Oliver's the one that's put this on his shoulders. I mean, thank God that he's done it.
So I appreciate you doing the extra work on your own time.
All the dollars need to add up.
Yeah, makes
I think
sense.
it was a pretty crappy thing Chief Charlton did by throwing all these bills at us, but we're able to work through it.
Right.
It's added a lot of time in people's camps here.
Well, the fact that you met with Clackamas and even explained the circumstance and they agreed to pay for the CPA to make it right is a very good thing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I think there's a new Clackamas fire over there.
Oh, there definitely
Yeah.
is. I'm actually impressed with the changes I've
Yeah.
seen there.
Definitely. Definitely. Chief Brown's gonna do a good job for that fire department.
Matthew, you have somebody with their hand raised. on our panel.
Yeah, we're gonna get to
Okay.
public comment in just a second. Any further questions on the financial report? Okay, well, let's go ahead and go to public comments.
Hello, Ed. Think he's muted or something, or?
Did they have their hands? Yeah, he has his
Yes,
hand.
hands up, yeah.
But we can't hear him.
See a mic up there.
Let me,
Oh,
I can call him,
okay.
put it on
Give him a call
loudspeaker.
real quick. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, perfect. Have a great evening. All right. Awesome. All right. He has no questions.
No,
So any further questions? You're part of the audience. Any questions from you guys?
no, I don't have any.
Okay. All right, board comments.
We got the annual SDAO conference coming up in February, the first week. I can't remember the
No, I
exact
think
date.
it's towards the end of the February, I thought.
I don't have the dates in front of me. It
It was
could
like the
be,
22nd or something.
could be.
Yeah.
It's in Eugene, Oregon. If you attend, masks are required all day long, or you can attend it in Zoom. So if any of the board members want to attend that, why, I assume get with Cheryl or
Yeah.
you, chief, or,
Yeah, Cheryl or I, either one, we can set you up.
okay.
So just so that Director Day and Miller, so you know that these conferences are paid for by the fire district. And that includes lodging. So so we pay for the whole trip. So,
I'm probably gonna attend it by Zoom. I cannot all day with mask
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I rode
some
in,
fun to me.
airplanes in November.
I did too
And
in
it was
October.
no fun wearing a mask the whole time.
Yep.
And my wife's a big rule breaker, so she had to be asked like 20 times to put her mask back on.
You just do like everybody else, put a blanket over your head and take your mask off.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
okay. Any further director comments? Okay. Correspondence,
Your the volunteer association meeting minutes are included in your packet.
Saw that.
All of them correspondence. You'll start seeing that now. each month.
Yeah.
It'll probably be from the previous month, but
Yeah, we
just
did.
by the way the.
No, it's nice to
meetings fall.
keep informed.
Yeah, I really appreciated that when I seen it.
excellent.
Oh, I did have one thing for the new board members. If they want hats or jackets like we've always have, if they're interested, can they order them? or-
Yeah, if you let me know.
Yeah, matter of fact, Chief Lashbrook can get anybody, whatever, like he got for Director Miller and
Well,
myself.
Matt got one, didn't he? Didn't you get one of these?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Would you want a coat?
These are the jackets we wear winter times.
You got jackets and you got the polo shirt if you want.
Yeah. Polo shirts for the summer, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just like the chief. Thank you.
Cool. All right, community items, chief, any community items we need to be
Yeah,
aware
we
of?
participated in the light parade this last Saturday and we received best in show, so we actually number one. But during the parade, somehow the engine managed to get separated from the parade and took a wrong turn somewhere along the way.
How do you take a wrong turn in a parade?
I'm not even gonna go there because I
Okay,
don't need to know.
okay.
But but either way, they got to the intersection and stopped to wait their turn when they hopped back up. And they got lost for a reason, I guess, because one of the four-wheelers or razors that was coming down caught fire basically right there while the engine was there. And somehow we actually put the fire out on the razor. So it was timing. I guess it was supposed to happen that way. So anyway,
That's not the reason we got best in show.
it might have something to do with it.
Nice, nice. All right. Directors, anything further that you want to add? No? Chief, any last comments that you want to add?
No, sir.
All right, then the next meeting will be on Thursday, January 20th, 2022 at 7 p.m. So this is the final meeting of this year.
Yeah.
Starting a whole new year at our next meeting.
Next year's better.
We're in that 6 months and we're rolling right
I
along.
think we're doing great.
All right, nothing further. We're gonna go ahead and adjourn this regular meeting.